Then the fourth day, come on.
I'm going to call this meeting of the Arundel Planning Board to order. It is 7:30. Today is January 10th, 2019. We're in the ML Day School, and I'll start with a roll call.
Marty Kane.
Susan Roth.
Rich Ganong.
Jens Bergen.
We have on the agenda, first we have the approval of the agenda. We have approval of minutes. For the minutes, the November 29th, do not have a quorum of those of us here. So we're gonna take them off and do them at another point. So we have approval of the minutes for December 13th. We have citizen comment, 2 public hearings, Houston and Company with a major conditional use application, and Cape Arundel Cottage Resort with a major conditional use application. Then we have 4 pending applications. LaGrose Lane, a private way application, Raptor Falls, a plenary site plan review, Houston and Company, a major conditional use application, Cape Arundel Cottage Resort, a major conditional use application. Then there are 2 new applications, Broncos Run Daycare, a major conditional use application, and Joanne's Children's Center, a major conditional use pre-application. Thank you, Corinne. And then we'll have whatever other business we come up with in the process. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Yes.
Motion has been made, is there a second? Motion has been made and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The minutes for December 13th.
But I did read
We
the
have
One,
Marty,
2, 3.
myself, you, and
Yep.
Susan.
Okay, we're good.
Did you see anything that needed to be, okay.
That was the nice long meeting.
Yes.
Short.
That one wasn't too bad. Not as bad as the one prior. We need a motion.
Yay.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes. Any discussion, anything that you guys saw that might need to be changed?
None.
Okay, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. Okay, at this time, we will have citizen comment. If there's anybody from the public that would like to comment on anything that is not on the agenda. You're up.
Yeah, I'd like to say something, as a member of the public, I'll get over here. I had the experience of, I'm Jens Bergen, I live on Senate Road, and I had the experience of going to the transfer station last weekend. I think it was last weekend. And I found, to my amazement, that fees had begun to be charged for recycling. And I was stunned by that and deeply concerned about that, and remain so. Not because of having to pay the fee, whatever it was. I had a fair amount of recycling. I think I had one enormous, one of those rolling tubs that was full, and I think a few other containers of recycling material of all types, genuine recycled material. And I think I might have paid about $11. That's fine. What really concerns me is the impact this is going to have on the public and their incentive to recycle. And as a kid, I remember taking trips to the Kennemuck dump, and even then, as a young child, I was mortified at what I saw in terms of how we dispose of unwanted stuff. This charging for recycling is going to disincentivize the public to properly recycle material. Charging fees is a short-term solution to an entirely different problem. our society is finally getting woken up to the fact that we gotta take responsibility for pollution and preventing it. And recycling, zero sort is is very good, but we've got to not charge people to take responsibility for recycling. I think what we do have to do is to perhaps better educate the public. I think municipalities have a role in that, and the public has a responsibility to become educated as to how to properly recycle. And I hope that other members of the community share these same ideas. And if you do, I've already taken the step to go in and talk frankly to the town manager about it, my thoughts about it. We're gonna hear that the Chinese aren't taking recycled materials anymore. The bottom line is, part of the reason is these materials are not being properly differentiated by the public and by the municipalities who take them in. So I think, starting at a ground roots level, we've got to, as citizens, take better responsibility to differentiate what is recycling, what's trash. But it doesn't help here that the municipality's begun to charge fees that, as I say, disincentivize members of the public. That's it.
Any other comments by anyone in the? Hearing none, we will close the citizen comment, and we will move into public hearings. At 7:36, Houston and Company, major conditional use application, a proposal to construct a 1,856 square foot furniture finishing and storage addition to the existing 4,882 square foot showroom and woodworking facility located on a 4.04 acre site located at 223 Log Cabin Road, tax map 31, lot 3A in the R3 district. Bill Houston is the owner applicant. Take it away, Mr. Houston.
All right, I'm not exactly sure how our public hearing is held, but I believe the understanding is I'm to explain what our plan is here. We have a map here, orientation. This is Log Cabin Road here. Frinkle Pod is back this way. Lombard Road is over a couple lots over. We built these buildings in 1985, and we did an addition in 2002. And what we're looking to do is add a building here in the back, which will be connected to our existing building. And this is approximately a little more than on the thing. I think it's going to be just under 2,000 square feet with this little bump out here. And this will be used for storage and also for a small finishing facility. We have a state-of-the-art spray facility and spray booth with a full filtering system and so forth. And the reason for this, that we're doing this building, is that we currently have our finishing and storage facility off-site about 4 miles from the shop. And we're leasing a space in a warehouse up in Biddeford. And they're transforming that warehouse, and our lease will run out in about a year and a half, and they've said we'll need to move out. Plus, it'll be much more efficient to have this connected to our building right on site. Currently, all the furniture we build, we put in a van, drive it 4 miles, finish it, bring it back. It's very, not very efficient. So this is our plan. Anybody has any questions?
Anybody from the public have any questions for Mr. Houston? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:39. And moving on, we will open the public hearing for Cape Arundel Cottage Resort, a major conditional use application, a proposal to expand the footprint of the cottage unit storage shed from the maximum of 100 square feet approved on July 14th, 2016 to 120 square feet in order to accommodate goal golf cart storage. They had golf carts out there. On a 294.3 acre parcel tax map, lot 15, lot 13 in the BI and Shoreland districts. Arundel Kennebunkport Cottage Preserve LLC is the owner applicant, and Rick Light of Light Environmental Design is the applicant's agent. Yes, it is gold, because those of us can't afford to live out there, but they can afford to have a gold golf cart there.
But it's not a golf course.
That's not a golf course.
Yeah, that's next door.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rick Light, Light Environmental Design, and Joe Paulini, the applicant, who just walked away. Basically, what we're here for is, as the board will recall back in 2017, the applicant requested and received approval to install sheds, which weren't specifically mentioned. They weren't adverse of it not being mentioned under the ordinance. It was unclear whether or not they needed approval. So conservatively, we came to the board approved adding sheds where people want to store things like kayaks, their bikes, day-to-day stuff, and the board approved 10 by 10 sheds. Since then, the applicant has sort of learned through the market that we're trying to encourage basically a walking, biking, golf cart community, that golf carts don't fit very well in a 10 by 10 shed. We've tried everything. And so we're requesting to the board that the sheds be increased from 10 by 10 to 10 by 12. When this is a graphic that sort of shows the dynamics, the ergonomics and the sizing of it. It allows much more room for a full golf cart with appropriate room to walk around it, maybe store a bike and things on the side. So it's a simple request to change the currently approved 10 by 10, which is 100 square foot, to a 10 by 12, 120 square foot shed size. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for the applicant? Yes, ma'am. Please identify yourself.
Velma Hayes. How many golf carts do you expect to have in the cottages, in the up
Joe,
there?
you want to answer that?
Yeah.
Any idea?
Right. Hi. Right now, we have waiting for approval approximately 5 or 6. And there are other people that are buying, and they asked the question whether or not I can fit a golf cart in there. And when we did an ergonomic study, which I believe Rick has the top one there, it shows there's maybe 4 inches where you have to sneak yourself in and out. And for some of these folks that are, can't do it because they're somewhat with a cane, this gives them at least almost 2 feet of space to get around, and also gives them storage space.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, at 7:42, we'll close that public hearing. Moving right along to pending applications. The first application we have is from LaGrose Lane, a private way application, a proposal to extend LaGrose Lane an additional 625 linear feet for the purpose of providing legal access and frontage for 2 residential lots exempt from subdivision review under 30A MRSA 4401.4 and 4401.4.D-4. Francis V. LaGros is the owner applicant, Dana Libby, RLS, is the applicant's agent. I would like to thank you for having provided us with the documentation related to the road maintenance agreement, and to Mr. Reed for having clarified a couple of issues related to that. Does the board have any questions for the applicant?
Bruce, did you provide, Tad or Rich with the copy of the documentation?
Yeah, I gave Tad
It's in your packet.
Okay,
10
so I
paper-
read your letter,
yeah,
but I didn't, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I hand-delivered it, Bruce Reed on behalf of the LaGros, I hand-delivered it to Tad about a week ago, with all the documentation, the original easements and road maintenance agreements are all on file. I didn't bother to paper you guys with all of it, but it's all there. My letter references each one and where they're recorded.
Right.
So everybody who came into LaGros Lane, everybody who owns property either side of that road has signed on to a road maintenance agreement, so,
All right, I read your letter.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
attorney had a conflict and asked me to step in. So if you have legal questions on this matter, you have to go, actually not to me, not to Bergen and Parkinson, to someone else.
Right, it's on the letter.
Oh, it's on the back of the letter,
Page
okay.
I had to go play peekaboo myself.
Then I must have just given it to you somehow.
Okay.
That's the letter. This is the road maintenance agreement with Countryside Acres.
Several, right, there are amendments, and there are probably 4 recorded documents.
That's where it falls.
So that, I give them that,
Thanks.
that way in case you.
Here you go, Rich.
Thank you. I didn't see this, I wonder what I did with it.
Are you looking for the,
No, he's got it now.
I have it. Okay. We're all set to go, correct? Okay. Whereas on August 9th, 2018, the Arundel Planning Board did receive a private way permit application from Francis V. LeGros to extend LeGros Lane an additional 625 linear feet for the purpose of providing legal access and frontage for 2 residential lots exempt from subdivision review under 30A MRSA 4401.4 and 4401.4D-4 on a 46.95 acre parcel tax map 23 lot 15 in the the R4 SO and RP districts. Whereas on August 23rd, 2018, the Arundel Planning Board conducted a site walk to inspect the proposed site in conformance with the provisions of section 513.2.1 of the Arundel Land Use Ordinance. Whereas on September 13th, 2015, the Arundel Planning Board conducted a public hearing in accordance with the provisions of section 513.4.2 of the Arundel Land Use Ordinance. Whereas on October 25th, 2018, the Arundel Planning Board reviewed the applicant's proposal and considered the abutters' concerns and requested the applicant submitted a revised maintenance agreement that included the proposed new lots that would be generated by the proposed private way extension. Whereas on November 29th, 2018, the Arundel Planning Board granted the applicant an extension on the private way application to finalize the required maintenance agreement. Whereupon the Arundel Planning Board has given due consideration of the applicant's private way application and has arrived at the following findings and conclusions. Findings of fact: 1, the applicant and owner of the existing LeGros Lane is Francis V. LeGros. Number 2, the property upon the private way extension is to be constructed as located is at the end of LeGros Lane and is identified as Arundel Assessor's Tax Map 23, Lot 15 in the R4 Shoreland Overlay and Resource Protection Zoning Districts. Number 3, LeGros Lane currently serves 5 dwellings on Tax Map 23, lots 2K, 2L, 2M, 2J, and 2N, and a camp on the remaining land of Francis V. LeGros located on Lot 15. Number 4, the applicant proposes to extend the existing LeGros Lane 625 feet to the north and east in order to subdivide an additional 2 lots from the remaining land. Proposed Lot 1, consisting of 4.67 acres, will be gifted to a grandson, while Lot 2, consisting of 7.88 acres, will be sold. Both lots are exempt from subdivision review under 30A MRSA Section 4401.4. As depicted on detailed sheet C3-1, prepared by Walsh Engineering, the proposed 625-foot private way extension will match the existing LeGros Lane with a 20-foot wide paved travelway and 3-foot shoulders. This typical cross-section will meet the standards for a private way serving 8 or more lots as specified in Land Use Ordinance Section 513.2.1. As such, the extended LeGros Lane provides legal access to the 2 proposed lots and any future lots up to 25.
25 lots.
Well, it says, and future lots up to 25, proposed exempt lots and any future lots up to 25. So it seems to be repeating itself.
No, it is.
Number 6, the applicant is providing a standard 65-foot cul-de-sac terminus at the terminus of the proposed road extension as specified in the Arundel Street Design and Construction Ordinance. Number 7, in support of this application, the applicant has submitted horizontal and vertical plans and profiles, details and soil erosion control plan of the private way improvements entitled Roadway Design for LeGros Lane, as prepared by Walsh Engineering Associates Incorporated and dated June 28, 2018. The property survey has been submitted with proposed lot divisions and showing revised wetland and shoreland zoning boundaries and setbacks prepared by Corner Post Land Surveying Incorporated and dated 7/23/18. Number 8, in addition, Walsh Engineering Associates has provided pre- and post-development HydroCAD stormwater analysis and stormwater management plans dated June 28, 2018, documenting no net increase in peak runoff rates for a 25-year frequency storm generated by the proposed road improvements. Number 9, the applicant has submitted a copy of the existing road maintenance agreement for the Countryside Acres Association, consisting of property owners with properties fronting LeGros Lane. Conformance with conditional use criteria. After due review and consideration, the Arundel Planning Board has determined the application to be in conformance with all the criteria of section 513(2) of the Arundel Land Use Ordinance in that, number 1, the proposed road reconstruction and extension meets all horizontal and vertical alignment standards of Land Use Ordinance section 1513(2)(1) and the relevant sections of the Arundel Street Design and Construction Standards of Ordinance. Number 2, the proposed road reconstruction and extension meets and exceeds the typical road cross-section mandated under Land Use Ordinance section 1513(2)(1). Number 3, the proposed stormwater management meets and exceeds the minimum drainage standards of Land Use Ordinance 513(26). Number 4, the applicant's sediment and erosion control plan meets the standards of Land Use Ordinance section 513(27). Number 5, the applicant has a road maintenance agreement in place meeting the standards of Land Use Ordinance section 513(3)(2). Therefore, be it resolved that based on the above findings and conclusions, the Arundel Planning Board hereby approves the private way permit application of Francis V. LeGros to extend LeGros Lane an additional 625 linear feet for the purpose of providing legal access and frontage for 2 residential lots exempt from subdivision review under 30A MRSA 4401.4 and 4401.4B-4 on a 46.95 acre parcel, tax map 23, lot 15 in the R4, SO, and RP districts, subject to the following conditions. Number 1, prior to construction of the private way, instruments or assurance of building permits, the applicant shall post a surety instrument with the town of Arundel in the amount of $75,800 plus a 10% contingency fee. The 10% contingency fee shall be withheld until the design engineer's report certifies that all improvements have been completed in conformance with the approved plans, profiles, and details and design standards. Number 2, prior to the issuance of any certificate of occupancies on lots 1 and 2, the applicant shall submit to the code enforcement officer a sealed certification from Walsh Engineering Associates that all proposed road improvements depicted on the approved plans have been constructed in accordance to that plan and the construction standards of section 513(2) of the Arundel Land Use Ordinance. Number 3, Walsh Engineering Associates shall submit regular inspection reports and material testing findings to the town planner. Number 4, within 90 days of the signing of the record Mylar by the planning board, the applicant shall record the approved private way plan in the York County Registry of Deeds, the revised maintenance agreement for lots 1 and 2 served by the LeGros Lane extension. So approved by the Arundel Planning Board this 10th day of January 2019. Is there a motion?
Okay,
Motion's been made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous, congratulations.
Yay.
Yes. Thanks for coming in.
I'm gonna need the Mylar from Walsh to sign it. Actually, Dana, I think Dana's got it.
Dana's got it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the record, we need 2 copies, one for us and then paper copy, one for us, one for you to record. Yeah, 90 days from the date we sign it, not the date. So as soon as Dana can get it to record.
When's the next meeting?
My date's back.
Actually, you should.
I'm usually in my corner.
Yeah, you can just drop it off.
Right.
Thank you.
You bet. I'll send you a copy.
The only other thing, yeah, and how,
Item number 2, Raptor Falls. Plenary site plan review, a proposal to construct an 18-hole miniature golf course with a dinosaur theme complete with range buildings and associated off-site parking on an 8-acre site. Formerly Princess Tire Lot, 1812 Portland
oh,
Road.
that's what I thought.
Tax map 5, lot 12.
Okay. Wanted to know.
Hey, hey.
Oh, okay.
Let's take the conversation
Oh, all
outside.
right. Okay, oh, we gotta leave. Sorry, thank you.
That's okay, the mic's
Sorry
gonna
to
pick up
disturb
everything that you
everybody
said.
else now, but I'm on my way out.
Okay. Located at 1912 Portland Road, tax map 15, lot 12 in the DB1 district. Clifford Gatkowski and Bree Duffy King are the owners and applicants. And we are in possession of an email requesting an extension to the 24th. This
I'll
is,
show you the extensions for the full 30 days.
it's for the full 30, okay, because the
There's
email
another
is.
one after that.
Oh, okay, I didn't see the second one. So they've requested a 30-day application. This is the second of the 2 that they are allowed
Primarily for the reason of lighting.
for lighting, I believe.
Yes. You'll see that what I received today, received the notification from DEP that they've received their stormwater permit by rule. So that's taken care of. There are some issues with the final delineation of the lot. There's some problems with it, with Fritz's Way being part of the lot, which caused, there's some issues that caused illegal lots being created by that. So they're reconfiguring it so that the Fritz's Way is not part of the lot in any way, shape, or form. There are no easements or encumbrances on the property as a result. And the third thing is there are some issues with the lighting plan. I received the report, preliminary report from Jim Stockman, and the primary concern is that there is not uniformity in the lot number 2 lighting, and the modeling does not take into account that there's a 20-foot rise in the topography. And it's based on a level surface, so the concern there is they will be creating hot spots and glare points along Route 1, both for the people across the street and also for drivers going with them. So, that has to be addressed.
Okay. Gentlemen, remember, this is the second extension. If they don't get it fixed when they come back before us, we have to vote one way or the other, up or down.
In defense of the applicant, there have been some real problems with settling out the actual lot.
Right, that's-
Yeah.
What, property lines or?
The property lines.
Okay, so I need somebody to make a motion to grant the extension.
I move that we grant the
I'll
extension.
second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor?
Right.
Aye.
It is unanimous. Next item up. Item 3, Houston and Company, major conditional use application, a proposal to construct a 1,856 square foot furniture finishing and storage addition to the existing 4,882 square foot showroom and woodworking facility located on a 4.04 acre site located at 223 Log Cabin Road, tax map 31, lot 3A in the R3 district. Bill Houston is the owner and applicant. There he is. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Houston?
No.
Oh, good, I was afraid for a minute there this was printed on both sides.
No, I made it easier this time.
Whereas, Town of Arundel Planning Board findings of fact and motion for approval for Houston and Company building expansion. Whereas on September 27th, 2018, the Arundel Planning Board received a conditional use pre-application from Houston and Company for the construction of a 1,856 square foot furniture, finishing, and storage addition to the existing 4,882 square foot showroom and woodworking facility located on a 4.04 acre site located at 223 Log Cabin Road, tax map 31, lot 3A in the R3 district. Whereas on October 13th, 2018, the planning board conducted a public site walk of the proposed site. Whereas on October 25th, 2018, the planning board ruled on the submission requirements for the proposed activity given the site observations of the site walk. Whereas on November 29th, 2018, the Arundel Planning Board received a major conditional use application from the applicant. After significant review, the planning board deemed the application complete and scheduled a public hearing for January 10th, 2019. Whereas on January 10th, 2019, the Arundel Planning Board conducted a public hearing in conformance with Land Use Ordinance Section 10633, and whereas after due consideration, the Arundel Planning Board has determined the following findings of fact. Findings of fact, number 1, the owner of the property and business is Bill Houston. Number 2, the property is located at 223 Log Cabin Road, tax map 31, lot 3A in the R3 district. Number 3, the property currently consists of an existing 4,882 square foot showroom and woodworking facility with associated parking and loading areas. The woodworking operation is classified as low-intensity manufacturing and is a non-conforming use in the R3 district. Number 4, the woodworking facility and its non-conforming use were initially approved by the Arundel Planning Board in February 1995, with subsequent expansions approved in 2001 and 2002. In 2005, the land use ordinance changed, permitting existing legally non-conforming buildings to expand by up to 50% in area. Number 5, the applicant is proposing to construct a 1,856 square foot furniture finishing and storage facility on the west side of the existing building. It will contain an enclosed spray room with filtered ventilation systems. Site improvements include a 5-space expansion of the parking lot to facilitate the needs for additional employees, along with a loading space for product to be loaded to and from the finishing shop. Number 6, given the relatively flat topography of the site and small size of the expansion, the Arundel Planning Board has waived the requirement for stormwater management plan. Number 7, additional lighting will consist of one LED wall pack located in the gable end of the proposed new building, illuminating the loading area over the entries to the proposed building. Number 8, the applicant's facility is located within 1,000 feet of the existing dry hydrant located at Log Cabin Road crossing of Goff Mill Brook, and therefore is in compliance with the fire protection provisions of Land Use Ordinance Section 5.7. Number 9, erosion control, building footprint, lighting, and parking layouts are depicted on the plan set entitled Houston Shop Edition, prepared by John W. Einsiedler, R.A., and dated November 1st, 2018, with revisions to December 1st, 2018. Conformance with conditional use criteria. After due review and consideration, the Arundel Planning Board has determined the application to be in conformance with the criteria of section 929 of the Arundel Land Use Ordinance as follows. 9291, that the use is compatible with and similar to the general categories of uses of neighboring properties. The proposed use is an expansion of an existing legally non-conforming manufacturing use permitted under Land Use Ordinance Section 4822B. Although the use is non-residential, the architecture and scale of the buildings, including the proposed addition, reflects the residential character of the surrounding structures and neighborhood. Remember, gentlemen and ladies, we need to vote on each one of these.
It's in your packet. I didn't, oh, he's just in the. It's what?
I need a motion.
Yeah,
Motion has been made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve 9291, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Motion is unanimous. 9292, the use is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the anticipated future development of the neighborhood in that the comprehensive plan does not recommend low-impact manufacturing in the R3 district. However, the scale and the architecture of the operation are in keeping with the residential character envisioned by the comprehensive plan for the district. Motion has been made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for 9292. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. 9293, that there is adequate and safe pedestrian and vehicular access to and into the site to accommodate anticipated traffic to and from the use. The proposed use will not generate significant trip generation. No changes are proposed to occur to the driveway access or internal circulation. No pedestrian conflicts will be created.
I move we find the conditions satisfied.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Motion's been made and seconded for 9293. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
9294, that there is adequate water supply and sewage disposal available to service the use. The expanded use will use the existing on-site well and will not place undue demands on the water supply.
I move to find the condition met.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded for 9294. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 It's unanimous. 9295, that there will be no noise, dust, odor, vibration, or smoke generated by the use that will adversely affect neighboring properties, in that noise, dust, and smoke. The nature of the business does not generate any undue noise, dust, or smoke generation outside of the structure. Filters and ventilation fans will eliminate evacuation of volatile organic chemicals into the neighborhood air, and all excess product in the spray room will be contained within the building. Glare. The applicant is installing an additional LED wall pack with full cutoff shields that will not generate any dangerous glare for passing motorists or be a nuisance to adjacent properties.
I move that we accept.
Motion's been made and seconded for 9295. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous. 9296, that the physical characteristics of the site, including location, slopes, soils, drainage, and vegetative cover, are suitable for the proposed use. The proposed use will require limited alteration of the existing site topography. Tree cover will be retained on the perimeter of the site.
I move we find the conditions satisfied.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. 9297, that the use will not constitute a public or private nuisance. No additional nuisances will be generated by the proposed use.
Aye.
Motion's been made, is there
I
a
second it.
made and seconded? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. 9298, that all other requirements and applicable provisions of this ordinance, particularly any pertinent performance standards, are met. The applicant has met all pertinent portions of the Arundel Land Use Ordinance in the design of the proposed activities.
I move that we,
find it
go
met.
ahead.
Go ahead,
I move that we accept.
and I'll second that.
Okay.
Motion's been made and seconded for 9298. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. Therefore, be it resolved that based on the above findings and conclusions of the Arundel Planning Board, hereby approves the major conditional use application of Houston and Company for the construction of a 1,856 square foot furniture finishing and storage addition to the existing showroom and woodworking facility located at 223 Log Cabin Road, tax map 31, lot 3A in the R3 district, subject to the following conditions. Number one, the applicant has 2 years from the date of this approval to complete all improvements. Number two, no certificate of occupancy shall be issued by the Arundel Code Enforcement Officer until the town planner presents a letter bearing the seal of John W. Einsiedler, R.A., certifying that all improvements have been completed in accordance with the approved plans and conditions for this conditional use permit. So approved by the Arundel Planning Board this
104th day of January.
104th day of January. This 10th day of January 2019. Long.
I was gonna say, so.
Aye.
Okay, motion has been made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for the approval. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous.
Congratulations, Phil.
Thank you.
Could you
Yeah,
have
and you
John
got
make,
to go first today,
Well,
as opposed
thank you
to
for all the time you put into this.
being
It's
the
very
caboose.
impressive. Appreciate it.
Phil, I'm gonna need, John give us a Mylar of that, the approval block.
Do you have the pen
Okay.
over there?
Oh, I
You
handed
don't
it
need
back
to
to
file
you,
this
the blue one.
in Alfred,
I
but
handed
we
it down
need to have a Mylar and at least 2 copies. You're gonna want a copy of the planning board signs.
Okay. All right.
As soon as you
Sweet.
can.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that right away.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Item number 4, Cape Arundel Cottage Resort, a major conditional use application. A proposal to expand the footprint of the cottage unit storage sheds from the maximum of 100 square feet, approved on July 14th, 2016, to 120 square feet in order to accommodate golf cart storage on the 294.3 acre parcel tax map 15, lot 13 in the BI and shoreline districts. Arundel Kennebunkport Cottage Preserve LLC is the owner, applicant, and Rick Light of Light Environmental Design is the applicant's agent. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Light or for Mr. Paolini?
Yeah, I got one.
Go for it, Marty.
Even though we're not planning on having power out there or whatever else not, are any of the tenants planning on putting up some of those new fancy motion bright light, so it's not gonna project, like,
A photo cell?
you know, one of those, I mean, they've come out with some of these new ones, and I've seen them on the boob tube, okay? And some of them are so bright that they're blinding. I mean, I'm only thinking of the abutting neighbors because they're so close,
Right,
and,
I'll answer that question.
yeah,
If I may.
Yes, please.
No, they're not allowed to. Everything has to go through the HOA, and the HOA is controlled through rules and regulations, and one of them is, there is a back door light, there is a front door light, those are the only light they can put on.
okay.
No other lights.
I was, you know, you get some of these
Yeah.
new sticky-on
Oh,
things,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
I have a question. The doors are manually operated?
yes, they are.
Okay.
In fact, you don't even run electricity out there, do you?
no,
In some cases, we do for people, for example, that have to go out there when it gets dark at 4:30, it's a safety thing. So just inside, there's one light bulb.
Don't golf carts have to be charged?
Yeah, so we put an outlet for that, for them
For
to
the
charge it, but
charger?
sometimes we can do is have it, if they don't wanna spend the extra money, then they just plug it into the house. It just takes the plug at the house. So instead of
Outside
having
outlet.
outside, not inside, so we have to, based on the type of golf cart they have, sometimes you have to change the type of a plug-in they would have, because it's got different tree
Right.
prongs and
Right, like
different
a 220,
locations and things like
yeah.
that, so we ask them in advance if that's what they want.
Joe, are these structures, are they served by ramps or?
We build them a
Is it down there?
ramp, we built them a ramp, yes. Usually what they are, the max we try to do is 4 to 6 inches, 5 inches, 4 inches, so there's not a big step up, so it becomes a very gentle grade for them.
you got any stoppers on the other side, so they don't drive through?
Yeah,
well,
looking at that plan,
it's called a wall, actually, what we have done, yes.
I mean,
Yes, we
I'm-
have. Yes, we have.
As,
No, it's the truth,
as,
yeah.
you're gonna have golf cart races sooner or later around there.
They're not
and everything
allowed.
else. And, in case they wanna, oops, I hit the wrong pedal and right through, I mean,
If I may, they really police themselves. I've noticed that, not with golf carts, but with cars. I've noticed that people will say, hey, slow down, this is a 10-mile zone. And we do have, you know, speed limits and things like that. So people tend to watch out, they do. And we have all sorts of ages there, we have children, and we have people that are 86 years old.
Probably generally a more responsible demographic anyway, I would think.
They're very responsible.
Well, the idea of golf cart races on
No.
we won't do that in the wintertime.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Joe, is every unit going to have one of these, or are they built on request?
When you build on request.
On request, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And they basically becomes a change order.
Yeah.
So, and right now, a lot of the people are using it, like even their outdoor furniture, when they leave for the season, instead of leaving it outside, they'll put it inside. Their bikes, like Rick said, canoes, kayaks, because we've done it in such a fashion that it mimics the cottage. So in other words, when you look at the cottage roof line, these mimic the cottage roof line. And so from the peak to the floor, it's 13.5 feet, so you can get you can put it at an angle, canoe and things like that.
Yeah, they're good looking, actually.
Thank you.
Photographs in the original application for the sheds.
It is the same material as the cottages, which is an engineered lumber, which has got about a 35, 40-year life, and all PVC, so there's no chance of rotting. And yes, sir.
We need a motion, there's no findings of fact, this is just a motion to approve the change.
It's even though it's a major, it's just a minor amendment to the dimensions.
I move that we approve the change.
And I'll second your.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the change to the dimensions on the sheds, I guess, 'cause
From 100 to 120.
from 100 to 120 square feet. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
Now, not every unit's gonna have this, only the ones that want them, right?
Yeah, like right now, we have 63 occupants right now, and we've got about 18 to deliver. There's about half a dozen that are looking for. As a matter of fact, I signed 2 PNSs today, they're waiting to know whether or not they can do this.
How is that going to be handled, going forward into the HOA, if they decide, oh, no,
Yeah.
that 10's
Is
10 by 10's
they
not enough.
are in the PNS, that they are responsible for the maintenance. And if they don't maintain them, then the HOA can step in and maintain it for them and then charge them for it. So it's controlled that way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
New applications, Rontu's Run Dog Daycare, a major conditional use application, a proposal to establish a pet daycare center in an existing riding stable located at 496 Limerick Road, tax map 27, lot 2 in the R1 district. Kristen Woodard is the owner applicant, sorry. Kristen, wherever you are, hey, what?
It's presentation time.
Yes, it is.
Presentation, I wasn't told that.
Would you like to make a presentation to the board of your proposal?
Sure. Yep, I've been, Kristen Woodward. I would like to open a small pet daycare. I've been working on it now for a few years. 60 by 100 outdoor area, about a 24 by 12 indoor, crated area. I've also added, the other side of the garage, an indoor exercise area, again, about 12 by 24. Been working on, getting enough parking area, handicap parking area. I have the lighting all set to go, I just need to get the electrician. I think that's about it, if anybody has any questions.
Dad, it's in the R1 district,
Yes, it is.
and is that a permitted use in the
Yes,
R1
it is.
district?
Right now it is, yes.
And so would that be considered a home occupation?
No, it is not. It is a pet daycare. And it is subject to the standards of pet daycare, which is in 9333.
So
And I
it's,
believe I've made a terrible mistake, because I've given you guys a response from Lynn Howe on the comp plan and not the application form, so if you're looking cross-eyed at that, I
Okay, good.
apologize. Yeah, they were next to each other, and I think I loaded the wrong one, because mine, unless my packet's wrong.
Yeah, no, this is,
Well, okay, then I will go over it. The plan, as it states here, the plan changes, as you remember, Kristen had come in before, and there were a number of issues that she had, discussed with the board. One of the concerns was, that, we had a number of concerns, the fence height, we had a concern about the parking, the lighting, also the issue about, I believe Tom was especially concerned about the indoor play space that, was required in the ordinance. Initially, she was just looking at having the cages. And since then, you're proposing the garage as the play space. She's going with 8-foot, the 8-foot fences instead of the coyote rollers, because those are pretty expensive. And, you've already installed the parking lighting, haven't you?
The what?
The parking lighting, did you install that?
It's not installed, but
It's ready to
it's
go.
all set to
Yeah,
go.
I've already gone over that plan. Let's see, what else? And she's also delineated the parking spaces on the plan, and I apologize because apparently I loaded the wrong stuff. What you usually do in this situation is you usually do a site walk. You go in and, look at the space, especially considering we've got two members who've never been to the site and don't know your
two
application.
numbers.
So, plus I think the board would like to take a look at that indoor space again. So I would recommend right now that we take a look at, we will schedule a site walk as soon as possible.
So does she have to conform to the same, requirements that the other, is it the compatible canine, what was?
Capable can-
Capable.
Capable
Canine.
Canine was actually a different situation. Capable Canine was, kennel, which has a different set of standards than a pet daycare.
So waste and things
Training
like that
facility.
aren't,
It's-
More or
yeah.
less.
Hers was a training facility, this is really a daycare for dogs. It's a different animal.
no pun intended.
It's a different animal altogether. So the standards are in 9.333. And, there were some changes that were made. Originally, we required you to be a dog, trainer. That's been changed to being a dog, you can be an animal trainer. And Kristen, you are a certified animal trainer, as I recall. So, she meets that standard. And, the issue is basically go and take a look at the site because of the changes that she's proposed. Take a look at that indoor one, and you folks need to see that site since you haven't seen it.
Yeah, might as well, it seems to me that's a threshold, step to take, and that allows you to get the other material,
Yeah.
because
Well,
it wouldn't have been much use to us now anyway before we start at a sidewalk.
yeah, I think it's better to see the
So
site walk.
it's just as well.
I should also make comment also that Kristen has also taken she's also talked to the fire chief, and she's talked to the public works director,
I saw that.
and has received approvals from both. So we're ahead of the plan on that.
And those letters will be shown.
Yeah, they're in the package that you don't have.
Okay.
And will you provide, up-to-date copies of your certifications?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, are the numbers the same, for the children? Or have they, since you have, changed things around, are they
Children or dogs?
dogs? But they're considered children, I mean, okay,
Well,
daycare,
we have a daycare coming up
daycare,
in
He was just, he reeled you right in there,
He
so.
did, and she did.
I did, no
Uh,
pun intended.
your numbers, is it like 5 or 10, or there's 6?
Well, I think originally we
I-
said 10 to 15.
Yeah,
I have 10, well,
the game plan.
I have 7 extra large crates which can be divided into 2.
Yeah.
So, anywhere between 10 and 15.
And so I was just trying to get an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should plan a sidewalk, right?
I think so.
Okay.
We do need to plan a sidewalk.
That's the emphasis.
What do we have for proposed dates?
First, I think, is the first Saturday.
Yeah, I can't advertise in time for this Saturday.
I was gonna say,
This
'cause I'm
Saturday
around
is
this Saturday.
The twenty-sixth, yeah, the
19th.
twenty-sixth is the earliest. Well, no, we could do the 19th. You're right.
I'll be out.
You'll be out?
We don't know what, Tom, Jamie, or,
Roger's gone for
Roger's
this
gone.
season.
okay. So,
Tom's still in California.
should we try for the 26th,
I
if we're
think
not gonna do it on a late in the afternoon? You don't like late in the afternoon, do you, Marty?
I can't get out,
Yeah.
and late in the
So
afternoon,
early in the
everything is
morning is
dark.
better for you?
I mean,
Early in the morning?
you mean during the week?
No, on the weekend?
Oh, weekend, I mean, early in the morning is fine, I mean, you know, I mean, I thought you were speaking of in the afternoon, meaning,
That would have to be like 3:30.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. he was
How about
thinking
early
of.
morning?
Huh?
I could do
Early morning?
Yeah,
I'd like that.
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock,
8 o'clock? Sure.
8
What
o'clock
day?
on the 26th.
On a Saturday.
weather permitting.
Well, this is indoor, so it shouldn't be too bad.
26 is a.
Saturday,
Oh, it's a Saturday.
Saturday the
morning,
26th.
how about
at 8 a.m.
8:30, 8 AM?
Okay.
Which one?
30.
8:30?
8:30. Thank you, Marty.
A
8:30.
coffee.
Yeah,
Does that work for you?
Works for me.
I'm asking Kristen, she's,
Went onto the sidewalk.
Yay or nay? Okay, didn't hear,
And she wrote down, did you write down coffee?
196.
Marty always brings it.
I always have my own coffee, but I have my,
That's what I mean.
I have a cup too.
196 limit.
490, did it say 29 Limerick? in
No,
the-
it's not 496.
That's what it says here.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I
It
was
says
like, had
496.
mental
Yeah.
that. Uh,
No, 29 is what? No, 29 is the next application, right?
So we
Yeah.
have a motion for that?
We have a motion, do we have a motion for the 26th at 8:30?
Yeah,
I'll move.
Motion's been made and seconded for the 26th at 8:30 to do a site walk for 1-2 run,
weather permitting.
weather permitting. All those in favor?
I,
Yay.
It is unanimous.
Alright, I'll advertise it. Tuesday. And that'll-
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
I'm gonna have to pay the calendar.
last but not least, Joanne's Children's Center Major Conditional Use Pre-Application, a proposal to increase the number of pupils in an existing child daycare center from 20 to 40 children with associated parking in the Arundel Business Center located at 39 Limerick Road, tax map 5 lot 13A in the downtown business district 1. Mike Pride is property owner and Kendra Gilardi is the business owner and applicant. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Kendra Gilardi.
So currently I rent a space from Mike Pride at the Arundel Business Center, and the space next door is opening up. So it's a matter of just expanding there from 20 children to 40 children. And my landlord plans on putting in a door to connect the two spaces.
What is been the business that was in that space before?
The solar center, it was an office of the solar center.
Haven't been there for a long time, have they?
It was just an
this is
adjunct to
29,
the
I
office,
know,
next to their
Is this
other
29?
operation there on the Limerick Road?
okay, I
I'm
got
sorry,
it.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, my question was, it was an adjunct office?
I believe so, yes.
I think we need to do a site walk and take a look at it. I'm particularly concerned, we're doubling the size of the number of children, so there's going to be a rather, given that it was the solar center, they didn't get a lot of business there. Most of their business was down at the shop itself, so there's gonna be a fair amount of increase to the traffic that goes through there. I think we need to to go and take a look at it, take a look at the space that you're expanding out into. And we should probably get something from the fire chief that indicates that it fits into the life safety codes without any kind of a problem.
I did speak to the fire chief and he said that everything is good with him.
Okay, he'll need to put it in writing first.
Okay.
Which fire chief was this, Kenny?
How long ago?
About 2 weeks ago?
New guy.
Yeah, sounds like
that's-
a
His name's
I don't
Jerry.
recall his name.
new guy.
Can't call him new guy.
You're very close to
Yeah, we
Route 1,
can.
aren't
We
you?
call the other guy.
It's-
No.
I'm on Limerick Road.
Right, right,
Yeah.
but aren't you just, once you,
Yeah,
not too far
not
past
too far from Limerick Road, from Route
Route
1.
1? On the, going towards the town hall, you're on the left side?
Yes, on the west side of the road.
Yes.
It's a big building, it's gable ended, doesn't look gable ended, but it's
Okay.
gable ended.
Right,
too.
right.
Canvas places in there, right?
The
Can
canvas
we-
place is in
Yeah.
there, yeah.
And then the unit in the back.
So you're not taking into their space, they're staying there, right?
Right.
Okay. All right.
Weather permitting, we can do something
The
Same
26th?
day,
the same day,
9:30?
9:30 in the morning.
That works for me.
Do we need it as much as an hour at once?
No.
No, it's,
Okay, can we make it 9?
that's the,
This is where they're at back here.
This is, it's basically, it's like a drive-through, it is a drive-through. Goes around like this, exits this way, this is the play area, kids come across here, kids are dropped off here. Come through the circulation goes like this, entering, this is the circulation. Yeah, it's a little.
So you drive
A little wonky.
right
So you're
past
gonna
the
cut
playground.
close.
Yeah. Yeah. You give it to them. And you might as well, since they're asking that question, might as well address that issue of crossing traffic and how you coordinate that.
Okay, so there's, a way into the business center and then there's a way out. And, the cars would come in and I calculated about every 4 minutes or so, there would be a new car coming in, approximately. And then, like Tad said, you just go around the building and it's a quick drop off and pick up.
Right, but to
Yeah,
get
but
the
they
kids to
come
the
in
play,
here and down and around this
and
way.
then for the kids to
And
go
then
to the
walk.
play yard, you
They're
have
gonna
to cross.
across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really in reference to the crossing of the kids from the facility over to the playground. How
Okay.
do you handle that? That's what they're asking.
I could have a teacher out there during the drop off and pick up times. I mean, right now, we just always have teachers with the children, so we could have a quick across guard.
So if when they take the kids to the yard, do they take their group
Yes,
across, and they're always accompanied by an adult?
yes, of course.
Turn around here,
Mm.
so it doesn't ever go this way.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
So,
For fire protection or something like that. It would be much safer for the kids and it would be.
and during pickup and drop off time, we're not playing outside in the playground.
Generally have your traffic coming in, you know, early in the day and then at the end of the day,
Yes,
without traffic circling around the, back of the building during the middle part of the day.
right, there's no traffic during the middle part. We have like a 2-hour pickup, or 2-hour drop off window, and a 2 to 3 hour pickup window.
Are the doors alarmed that, so if a child gets out, you know, because they do get, they're,
Rambunctious.
yes, they do.
Yes,
Sort of like what you have with the pool,
yes,
so that you know that a door is open,
yes.
that the kids have gone out.
How many parking spaces do you currently have?
4. But my landlord said that he can give me more if needed.
Wouldn't there be some that come incidental to the new proposed new?
Yes, there would be some that would come with the new space.
You know how many?
At least 4. He said he could give me probably up to 10
Additional?
additional of what I have now.
It's a big
How
parking
many
lot.
teachers are you
That's a big
proposing to have?
2 additional teachers.
So that there would be how many teachers total?
there would be 5 of us.
So what, a 1-to-8 ratio? How many kids are we thinking, I mean, I'm looking at the ratio.
Right, so with the new space, it would be preschoolers, so it's a 1 to 10 ratio. So 2 additional teachers.
And all the teachers are certified and,
Yes.
okay.
Licensing will get involved too.
Okay.
They'll come out and look at the space.
Is there any reason why Arundel should be more stringent?
We haven't had any issues. And have you applied for this increase with the state?
No, they're waiting for my permit with the
With
town
us?
first, yes.
Oh, that's peculiar.
They might have an issue, cause we're gonna wait for their permit to make sure you're in compliance with the state.
Okay. I have been in touch with the supervisor, my licensing supervisor, and she's aware of
Okay.
the process.
Yeah, I'm really kind of surprised, because most of the time we deal with DEP, and they have to issue a permit before we'll issue a permit.
Yeah, she said that I need a construction permit from the state and a permit from the town.
How long have you been running your business, Kendra?
I have run it for 9 years. But my mom had 2 daycares that I grew up in, and I took it over 9 years ago.
Where did you, oh, I see, this was, she initially established this?
Yes.
Where did she operate previously?
In Kennybunk on Ross Road. And then she had a daycare in Sanford as well.
Trying to think where on Ross Road.
Right where the pond, there's a big pond in front of the house. Right in the middle of Ross Road, near Lake's Farm.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, just-
yeah.
Before you hit that sharp curve,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Lake's Farm, way before that turn, Emmons Drive right down through there.
see, I don't think that curve is that far away.
Yes, the curve is
It's good.
quite a far
It
away.
depends on your cruising altitude.
I guess what speed you're going, we know what speed you're going.
That's what I
You
used
don't
to.
have to tell Matt Harrington what you're doing.
Go ahead, I don't go down there anymore.
So we're
Okay,
gonna do
so,
it 9
we
o'clock?
have a site walk.
Give yourself 15 minutes travel time. Even though
Okay,
it's
so
just down the street.
9:15,
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's say
9:15?
9:15
That's fine, yes.
on Saturday the 26th.
Now, do you have, on weekends, are you open or closed?
I'm closed.
Okay, that way there's no conflict. That's what I was,
Would you be able to show the planning board the inside?
Yes.
Okay, that probably would be helpful for
Right.
understanding the circulation and where the new facility's gonna be, right?
Yes. And even though there's 40, there's an expansion of it would be 40 students total, a lot of my students are siblings. So there's not necessarily 40 cars coming in and out.
family members.
Yes. So I have, like, right now I have, 2 siblings that come in 1 car. I have another family that's 3 siblings
might
that
even
come in another
carpool.
car. So,
Could you give us, not today, but at some point, the number of vehicles that are involved?
yes. I do have
Still, it would be good to know.
So I wrote down, right now, this is what I have, so I have these 2 are siblings. And these are the 20 students I have right now.
Oh,
Do you mind if I leave?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Oh, wait, before we go, we need to vote on the sidewalk.
Okay, I move that we vote on the sidewalk, we can vote right after we do run to run.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
No,
All those in favor?
aye.
Okay.
Aye, it is unanimous. Do you need this back?
And that's not my way, though.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm out of here.
All right, thank you, Susan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't set the alarm, so I don't understand why it's on, but, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
good? I move we adjourn.
We're all out of here.
We have a second?
Yeah,
Okay.
What the heck?
It was great.
This is incredible.